Okay, we will begin. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We are so excited that you're here. And today we will present Equality for All with Lehigh University in New Orleans. So give a quick overview of what the presentation will look like. First, we'll have introductions. Then we will present the situation in Armenia. We'll expand on what Luyce NGO is and explain more about the organization. We're gonna expand on sustainable development goals and the lessons learned. Then we're gonna speak about the Lehigh and UN partnership, the contribution to the priority theme, and lastly, we're gonna open the floor for some discussion. So for the panelists, we have myself, Ana Sofia Mendoza, Sugar, Gaia Leon, Vishen Kuleko, and Matsurad Escobedo, who unfortunately will not be able to join us today. Sugar is the founder and executive director of Luyce Mentoring Center for Youth NGO. She got her first degree in English language and school psychology at Yerevan State Linguistic University. Her second Master's of Education with an outstanding GPA she received in Counseling and Human Services at Lehigh University as a Fulbright Scholar under the supervision of Dr. Irfana Imban. During her career life, Sugar has worked as a coordinator or manager in various prestigious organizations such as Peace Corps, Birthright Armenia, Historic Armenian Houses, etc. She also volunteered in conducting a number of professional workshops in her community. Sugar has also served as the jury member during the state exams of counseling at Chirac State University. Sugar speaks 3 languages, Armenian, English, and Russian. During her free time, she likes to play the piano and read books. Currently, she is developing her organization to provide more services of adolescent girls from orphanages and socially vulnerable families, along with enlarging her international collaboration to bring more changes both locally and internationally. Risha is a senior at Lehigh University from Oakland, California, receiving her bachelor's degree in Africana Studies and Political Science with a minor in Global Studies. Alongside being a youth representative for Luyce, she's a current president of the Black Student Union, the assistant of the vice president of finance for Student Senate, and ambassador for the Office of Multicultural Affairs. She recently conducted research in 3 different countries regarding housing as a fundamental right, analyzing how people navigate socioeconomic limitations to secure housing. And she is extremely passionate about advocating for gender equality, social justice, and human rights on a global scale. For myself, I am a sophomore undergraduate student from Lima, Peru, and Oregon, and I am currently pursuing my bachelor's degree, double majoring in sociology and political science, with a minor in Latin American studies and following the pre-law track at Lehigh University. Some of my current efforts, aside from academics and being a United Nations youth representative alongside Risha for Luyce, include being a part of the Diversity Peer Educators, an anti-racism organization that educates other students on campus, and I am part of the Latin Student Alliance, First Generation Student Club, and Future Lawyers of Color. Some of my biggest passions are promoting values of gender equity and advocating for racial diversity and inclusion. So to foment some discussion, please discuss in the chat, what does equality mean to you? Answer in 1 word.
Since there are some Armenians, I'll also translate this for in Armenian. Երեխեք հարց կա, եթե ըստ ձեզ, հա, ձեզ համար մեկ բառով նշեք, թե ինչ է հավասարությունը։ Երբ որ ասում ենք հավասարություն, ինչ ենք հասկանում։ Մեկ բառով գրեք չաթում։
I see respect and access, which are great responses. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. A few more seconds.
Yeah, it says all the rights and responsibilities are equal for everyone. That's the dynamic.
Great.
Amazing. All these answers are right, and we were also thinking about this question. Like for all of us, it's like equal opportunity for everyone. Doesn't matter women or men. Like when we say equality, it's like equality for everyone. Like no one left behind.
Definitely. I definitely agree with success. It is what we strive for as a society to make sure that everyone has the same access of resources and opportunities, just as everyone else. So for the next question, we have gender equality, quality education, and reduced inequalities. What are some examples of how gender inequality presents itself? Give one example in 2 to 3 sentences. Keep sending your answers in the chat.
Հաջորդ հարցերը թարգմանեմ, ուրեմն գենդերային հավասարությունը, որակով կրթությունը եւ նվազեցված անհավասարություն։ Այս երեքից որոնք են ինչ օրինակներ կբերեք, թե ինչպես գենդերային անհավասարությունը դրսևորում այս ամենի մեջ։
See a salary gap, which is very true. We also see healthcare, which is definitely very important and very accurate. Gender stereotypes, definitely. Gender roles.
You guys are like you mentioned the most important parts, and I really liked it because when we were talking about this question, we realized that how gender inequality is kind of affects everything. Like it's the root cause that affects the progress toward achieving any of these SDGs.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Barriers created by societal norms, very correct. Okay, moving on to the next question. What are ways of securing gender parity in the education system? Give one example in 2 to 3 sentences. Like we've been doing, please keep answering in the chat. We're reading you.
Եվ վերջի հարցը, որ տվել ենք, ինչ ձևով մենք կարող ենք ապահովել գեներային հավասարությունը կրթության ոլորտում։ Էլ ինչ է կարծում կրթության ոլորտում ինչ կարող եք անել։ Ուսուցիչների հետ, like one of them said that we need to raise awareness, like engaging all different parties.
Definitely. Definitely. These are all great responses. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, I really agree. Everyone, you guys are very knowledgeable, and I really like the way you are thinking. And we were thinking about this question, and I was sharing that it's important to do gender responsive education sector planning, which includes like different parts, like when we need to do gender analysis, and we need to have this participatory approach to the analysis. We need to raise knowledge, like share information. We need to engage like gender expertise. We need to have that gender targeted approach, have the political will. So we need to take care of all these things to make sure we have the gender responsive education in our culture.
Thank you again for all your responses. We're going to keep moving on with the presentation. So Sugar, please take us away.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Anna Sophia Jan. Thanks everyone for your active participation. To begin with, I would like to give you some background information what's happening in Armenia. And I highlighted several important areas that I would like to present how it looks like over there. So one of them is gender wage gap, and it still remains significant. Women in Armenia, women earn 39.2% less than men in 2022. And also the research showed that women receive only about 70% of the hourly wage rate paid to men in the same occupation. So, and this disparity, it hasn't changed since 2018. This is the situation regarding the wage gap. The second is representation in politics. I would say the picture here is much better. Like we have seen a lot of change over there. So as of December 2024, women hold 38.3% of the seats in Armenian National Assembly, which is a significant increase from 80% in 2017. And this progress is due to gender quotas. I remember Lilith mentioned she doesn't like the quotas, but thanks to those quotas, it required 30% female representation in the parliament by 2020. That's how we got there. We have the seats, we have the women representation, but we need to know how well the women are engaged, how much their voice is being heard in the parliament. So that's a different question. Also, women participation in the executive branch has improved. So 36% of ministerial executive branch executive branch has about 36% of women like being there, and this is an increase from 8.3% in previous years. So we see a lot of advancements here. However, there's still challenges, and we need to make sure we can ensure equal political participation for women. Regarding education, so I would say Armenia is has high literacy rates because education is very important for us. We culturally we value education. We need to make sure that everyone is educated, everyone has a degree. So 99.7% of women are educated, are literate in Armenia. However, UNICEF reports also show that in rural areas, especially in children from socially vulnerable families, they are having hard time accessing education. But this is an infrastructure problem. However, thanks to the community members, they make sure these children get to the schools and get the education. Another field is about gender-based violence. Unfortunately, it remains serious issue in Armenia. So 4.6% of women aged 15 to 49 reported physical or sexual violence by a partner in the past year. So this is a low rate compared to the global average, which is 27%. But the problem is that domestic violence cases sharply raised from 960 in 2022 to 1,848 in 2023. So this means it's good that people are reporting about the issue because culturally people weren't talking about it. The good thing is they are reporting. However, it also highlights that there's an urgency to tackle this problem. And I know that Armenia had plans to launch a digital platform in 2024 to be able to track the cases and improve coordination. So we will see what the results will come when they have this program. Regarding the employment, so according to the International Labor Organization, women labor force participation in Armenia remains lower than men. So in 2011, the participation rate for women was 58.8%, and for women, for men, it was 69.6%. But in 2021, there was some increase. However, the rate for women was only 65.7. So even during the 10 years, the labor rate of women didn't reach to the same rate of men in 2011. So we are still behind. Like the challenges still persist. Armenia has one of the highest female unemployment rates amongst post-Soviet countries, and so women over 25, about like 17.3% of women over 25, they're reported being unemployed. Regarding child poverty, so 2017 data of UNICEF shows that the children poverty rate was at that time 34.2%, and the extreme poverty was 2%. However, the report of 2023 highlighted that there's a multi-dimensional poverty with 64% of children experiencing like deprivation, like they don't have access to education, healthcare, adequate living conditions, and 70% of the children lack pre-primary education. And all of us know this is very important, like this is very crucial for their development and future success. The pre-primary education is very important. Regarding like digital gender divide, so there's still a gap in Armenia with women having less access to digital technologies and lower knowledge in digital literacy compared to men. And this kind of gap hinders women's access to information, economic opportunities, even like participation in the digital economy. And last but not least, reproductive health. This is another important area. Access to reproductive health services, including family planning and maternal health services, still remains a concern in Armenia. And the United Nations Population Fund highlighted that the health services, particular for women in rural areas, are still hard for the women to have access to. So this is overall background information, what's happening. So we see the statistics show that gender equality and women's empowerment are kind of multi-faceted challenges in Armenia. And we need to tackle several fronts to be able to solve these issues. So we need to pay attention to the laws, like bringing changes in the laws, like create maybe new policies, have this political will, like to join and understand how they can support, raise awareness and improve education, improve healthcare, improve infrastructure. So we need to tackle all these fronts to be able to bring the changes. However, there's also a very important part that communities also need to be engaged. And as a community member, as a grassroots organization, I would like to share what we are doing in this field. Anna Sofia Can you sorry for our technical delays, but Anna Sofia Can, if you can play the video, that'll be great. This is short about the organization. This is the vision and mission of the organization, and the name of the organization is Luyce, which means New Light. It's the first mentoring organization and all the mentoring organization in Gyumri, Armenia, and we work with adults and girls from orphanages, socially vulnerable families, and girls from the displaced families due to the recent war in Artsakh. So we recruit 13 to 16 years old girls, and we provide them with mentoring relationships, skill building meetings, career planning meetings. We also provide them with scholarships scholarships to pursue a college degree. So it's a three-phase program, and it promotes empowerment and opportunity for girls to reach their full potential. So we we highlight this for us. It is important to provide the girls with a safe space, and this allows the girls to share their challenges and gain emotional well-being. And they are also provided with support to feel empowered to bring social, economic changes both in their communities and throughout the country, as well as they can build a community of strong, thoughtful, creative young women who are the future of Armenia. If we go forward, we can see Luyce's model. This is how we see the change that we are bringing. And all these the change is based on empirical research. So the research shows that children who receive any type of support at any period of their lifetime, they tend to be more emotionally stable. So without mentorship, we bring this emotional stability. Um, we when a and The research also shows that when a woman person is emotionally stable, she can have career, financial, and educational success. So this is very important, and we recognize the link between these aspects, and we address them. And so research also shows that adolescent girls. By the way, that first part is all about the first phase, the emotional support, and the second part, the skill building phase, is also the research shows that adolescents who receive life skills, soft skills, they tend to exhibit positive self-esteem and self-confidence. And this is very important. That's why we have the second phase. And to further support the growth within the girls, as well as promote future prosperities, we provide them with scholarships to pursue a college degree. So there's a huge also research about the fact that to make the education accessible, you need to provide like opportunities. And one of the opportunities we provide is the scholarships. So we not only provide the scholarships, but we also put the girls in touch with other organizations that provide scholarships, and they can pursue their 4-year college degree. And let's go forward a little bit more information about each of the phases. So this is our first phase. While the pictures are playing, you can see what we have been doing. During the first phase, we connect the mentees who are 13 to 16 years old. So we connect them with mentors with the goal of supporting their dreams. So this phase seeks to help them through their problems relevant to their lives in teenager, like adolescent is like an identity crisis. So we want to make sure we are there throughout this crisis. And beginning every semester, September, so the program starts in September, a new groups of mentors and mentees, they join the program, and they start their meetings, and they meet approximately 11 months. So throughout this phase, the mentees learn to focus on themselves and their emotional stability. As soon as we reach this goal, they gain this emotional stability. They work through their fears, like all the other issues. We provide them with an opportunity to start working on the goals for their futures and goals and aspirations for their futures. And in this phase, the mentees are being provided with 8 hours of individual services and 4 hours of group services each month. So this is what the program asks for them to do. However, if there are any mentor-mentee pairs that would like to do more meetings, they are more than welcome to do. But like the minimum hour individual services hours is like 8 hours per month. For the second phase, Anna Sophia Jan, can you change the slide? Thank you. For the second phase is like skill building phase, during which we provide the girls with the opportunity to learn more about how to write their resume, cover letter, how to build their career plans, how to do research. We also provide them with opportunity to gain knowledge in computer, like we provide them with computer skills. So the most important that the girls, the participants must complete phase 1 to be able to move on to phase 2. So in this phase, we focus on expanding the mentees' world perspective. So we engage them in volunteerism, we engage them in cultural meetings, And during this phase, we provide the girls with 8 hours of multi-group services and also with an opportunity to visit various universities, cultural centers, and a number of factories that allow them to explore the existing opportunities upon which they also can build their career plan. And the third phase, it is the higher education phase. So what we do in this phase, the mentees, they get a scholarship to attend higher education, and they also get financial network planning. They also get networking meetings, management training services. So we organize all these meetings for the girls. And again, they need to have completed the previous two phases to be able to be a part of the third phase. And we want to, so we aim to help the girls to prepare, to feel prepared for financial independence and find a job. So in this phase, a lot of girls go to either vocational schools, vocational colleges, or to universities. So wherever they are, they can turn to us, they can apply to us to get a scholarship. And when they get a scholarship, we also sign a contract with each other according to which they are going to conduct certain hours of volunteer work. So which also kind of brings this responsibility to give it back to the community and do something good. They participate in various meetings. They to represent the organization. They serve also as mentors in the organization. These girls have an opportunity to meet with famous Armenians, especially like from different aspects who are very well known, and those are kind of role models who share their challenges, success stories. They define their what is success for them, and they also show that no matter where you are coming from, the background doesn't play a big role over there. How the challenges are for everyone. So some people have bigger challenges, some have small challenges. However, the most important is like how you treat those challenges and how you accept them. So those are very motivational meetings for the girls to learn how they can go forward when they face any type of a challenge. And let's go forward. There's another important part of the program, annual debate. Every year we have a debate that we organize for our girls, and the topic always aligns with the priority theme of UN Women. And this year, as always, we had another theme, another debate, and the theme of the debate is intergenerational cooperation can solve social inequality. So this debate allowed them to learn a lot of things. So it allowed the girls to explore how collaboration between all these different generations can address and reduce social disparities, especially in the field of gender equality, economic empowerment, political education. So the debate allowed them to examine whether bridging emotional gaps through mentorship, shared experiences, or collective action can lead to sustainable solution for social inequality and gender-based challenges. And when we did a lot after the debate, when we had focus group meeting with the girls, they also highlighted that they learned that intergenerational cooperation fosters knowledge sharing because they met a lot of people. They did their own research. That mentorship, because we have the mentorship program and collective action, are very important to address gender inequalities. And when you have everyone engaged in one area, in one field, it is easier to achieve sustainable progress because like they can learn from adults and they can bring their new approach to like their digital skills, new or innovative approach to the problem. They also realized that it is important to address social inequalities because it allows them to find long-term solutions to problems like economic unfairness or lack of political representation. So it was like, and they were talking about the fact like how each of the generation like can, if they voice about it, if they work, if they take a step from their perspective, they'll be able to reach this, to reduce these inequalities. Another information that they highlighted was youth and women empowerment. They mentioned that the debate allowed them to, that not only debate but like also leadership initiatives, um, allow them to feel more empowered. And when you feel empowered, you kind of feel the ability to kind of be future advocates, like have that encourage themselves, like the courage in yourself to be advocate and um, to be the decision maker in the future. So they said like now in the future we will know how to approach to this topic, or anyone brings up something, we'll be able to share what we have learned and what we see the problem can be solved. And the last but not least, education and critical thinking. They said like debate allows us to think critically about the same issue, because we're looking from the issue both from different angles, like if they agree or if they disagree, how each of the group would come to the same question, like how to this problem. So they said like when you're looking at the problem from different angles, you learn a lot of things, you develop your critical thinking. And when you develop your critical thinking and when you learn about a lot about what's happening, it allows you to challenge discriminatory norms and policies. And they were also highlighting a lot of things are coming from our norms and values, which made me feel happy, because we talk a lot about norms and values. A lot of cases there's nothing like there are beliefs, and the beliefs are based on norms and values, and those beliefs hurt both men and women. So that was some of the information the girls shared with me when we're talking about the debate. This is all about the organization and the work we are doing. And regarding the SDGs, I'll give the voice to Anna Sophia to continue.
Yeah, so to talk a bit about the Sustainable Development Goals and the connection to Norluz, we recently received our eco-social status, which ultimately brings together people and issues around the world to create collective action for a more sustainable world. We have been working very closely to meet these SDGs, and I'll dive a little bit more on how we're able to achieve that. On the next slide, it displays the multi-level engagement Norluz has in realizing the SDGs. At the biosphere level, we work to affect climate change through educating individuals, in this case, our mentees, who we believe that change starts within each of us. And when we have an educated generation, things start to change within themselves. And with the generation having this knowledge about climate change, they will be able to pay it forward and be really advocates for the climate social issues that are occurring in the world. And at the society level, we have SDG 4 and 5 as our main base. And this connects a bridge towards the other levels and the realization of the rest of the SDGs. First, Norluz supports SDG number 4, quality education, through several initiatives. The organization directly engages with nearby universities, offering mentees the opportunity to explore education in the foreseeable future. These outreach programs provide a platform for mentees to ask questions to better understand the opportunities available to them, allowing them to witness firsthand the importance of quality education. Additionally, Norluz provides resources for scholarships, including one-on-one assistance, to ensure that there are no financial barriers that prevent mentees from pursuing higher education and ultimately their dreams. Next, Norluz's mission aligns with the SDG number 5, gender equality, by empowering adolescent girls through mentorship. Recognizing the unique challenges young women face in the socioeconomic sphere, the organization fosters personal and professional growth. This equips mentees with confidence and skills necessary to support them long into their lives and adulthood. At the level of economy, we target SDG 10, reduce inequalities. Through empowering our girls to pursue degrees in various areas, it strengthens their knowledge and skills in their determined fields that are typically men-dominated. Norluz plays a crucial role in bridging the opportunity gap for young girls, primarily from disadvantaged backgrounds. Through mentorship and skill building programs, Norluz has become been able to develop self-confidence, leadership, career aspirations, and emotional intelligence for their mentees to ensure that no one is left behind due to economic or social constraints. To be able to work in these three levels, the partnership between local and international organizations plays a crucial role. So SDG 17 is mechanically intertwined in our work and making it possible to really pretty much reach the goals the organization has set for the SDGs, really creating their own impact on the world. So the enduring collaboration between Norluse and Lehigh University has spanned across 4 years through the Youth Representative Program. This program particularly matches UN accredited NGOs such as Norluse with high achieving students who serve as NGOs' voices at the United Nations and other forums. This is the world's first United Nations Youth Representative Program that has been having a long-standing impact on different organizations. In this work, youth representatives for Norluse meet with global decision makers, participate in international conferences, and moderate briefings broadcasts worldwide. They speak on the floor of the General Assembly, giving Norluse a voice to amplify their mission and a chance to advocate for girls and young females in Armenia. This partnership is significantly important because it provides a platform for people to become more informed on their loose, including the resources that are available to them, and can galvanize others across the world to learn more about gender equality in their own country. This collaboration occurs within the framework of SDG 17, Partnerships for Goals. Additionally, it directly impacts SDG 4, Quality Education, SDG 5, Gender Equality, and SDG 10, Reduce Inequalities, which are the main fundamental goals that Norluse is aligned with. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a bit about the contributions to the partnership of the priority theme. This collaboration has a direct impact on the priority theme of CSW68, accelerating the achievement of gender equality and empowerment of all women and girls by addressing poverty and strengthening institutions and financing with a gender perspective. First of all, this collaboration increases the means of Norluse to participate in different platforms and increase its advocacy efforts. Being able to increase awareness about girls and young female adolescents in vulnerable situations in Armenia and how Norluse is working to actively engage and address gender equality within the context of poverty and inequality through its comprehensive program aimed at empowering young girls and female adolescents by facilitating access to higher education and promoting financial literacy among vulnerable populations. Secondly, this partnership provides young students with the opportunity to engage in advocacy and representation of groups in vulnerable situations in international forums such as United Nations. Due to this collaboration, Norluse and Lehigh University provides necessary resources for students who would not otherwise be able to do this important work and have similar experiences because of economic issues. In conclusion, this partnership, aside from the positively impacting the achievements of the SDGs, helps Norluse have the highest impact in its work with girls and young female adolescents, breaking the poverty cycle for them to ensure that they have the quality education and increasing awareness about the issues occurring in the world. Especially on an international platform among students of the university, it really provides such an important platform to really just advocate for the world's needs. And also initiates conversations about poverty, how it affects young girls and female adolescents, being able to collaborate to find sustainable solutions to these problems. Oh, next. Oh, the most recent example, sorry. The most recent example in Luyce participation is the interactive dialogue with young representatives in the framework of the CSW68, which is still ongoing. Thanks to this partnership between Lehigh University and Luyce, I could, as a youth representative, engage in dialogue around the CSW68 priority theme with youth representatives from member states and broad range of stakeholders such as government representatives, related United Nations bodies, and other NGOs. We discussed the need to prioritize gender responsive approaches and poverty reduction, particularly focusing on the challenges by young girls and young women. These partnerships give a voice to Luyce and allow us to advocate for better education for girls and female adolescents to eradicate poverty and advance gender equality. For education that closes the gender gaps and leaves no girl or female adolescent behind. On another occasion, a former Luyce youth representative student addressed President of the General Assembly and advocated for policymakers to genuinely listen and incorporate the suggestions of the youth.
When it comes to campus involvement, it is also currently one of the areas Luyce is trying to actively work on at Lehigh University. For instance, an event where all NGOs that are partners with Lehigh University, they participate in a tabling event on the United Nations Day, in which we share information about our organization to interested students. However, in this case, the event is so much more than just an informational session. It is also an invitation to students to broaden their perspective and take a global view of pressing social issues, particularly those that impact women and marginalized groups. At the core of our participation, it is the conversation around gender equity in Armenia, which is a topic that is not only, of course, vital to our mission, but also a very powerful point of reflection for students. We definitely believe that it is crucial to spark discussions that connect students with real world issues, particularly those that may not always be on their radar. And by addressing gender equity in Armenia, we not only shed light on challenges faced by women in different cultural and geographical contexts, but we ultimately also encourage students to think about gender equity as a universal challenge that transcends borders. Additionally, as a team, aside from promoting our organization at an internal level, we want to bring the same values we are so proud of female empowerment, both in a professional and personal setting, in similar workshops and discussion-based events. We think that this is the best strategy to not only bring further awareness of Luyce NGO on campus, but also as a way to explore and present our values to a different audience and to keep offering students valuable tools and insights that can definitely help them navigate their lives, personal and professional. Last year, we hosted our first event, Empower Her, Embracing Self-Care. And among the participants, we discussed different forms of self-care, and we reflected the roles in our lives and how we can keep bettering ourselves day to day. And these topics not only reflect the core values of our organization, but ultimately they also align with the experiences and challenges that many students encounter as they work towards their personal goals. And through these events for students, we aim to spark conversations that promote what we're so proud of, that it's resilience, solidarity, and empowerment for everyone, whether they're only navigating university life or preparing for their life post-graduation. Our vision is to continue hosting these types of events regularly, and in doing so, we can strengthen connections with students and fostering a sense of community on campus with Luyce. Our next idea is to join Lehigh's Art and Crafts Club called Chalk and Talk, which is a space where students can discuss different relevant topics while keep making crafts and forming connections with other peers. We're in the process of discussing final details for the event, but we are very excited about it, and we want to incorporate concepts of gender equity and overall promote a larger discussion about it with the. When it comes to being a United Nations Youth Representative, it is definitely nothing short of extremely meaningful. It is an experience that offers such a wide range of opportunities that not only enhance our professional lives, but can also help us grow personally in ways we could have never imagined. At the heart of this role, we gain unique access to different events at the United Nations, which is very exciting, and we have the chance to engage with some of the most important issues facing our world today. And these events provide a great platform to meet other people, network with international leaders, policymakers, activists, and overall just passionate individuals who are committed to creating positive social change, which is what we strive for as students. This role is invaluable in terms of developing leadership and public speaking skills like we're doing right now. By participating in high stakes discussions and just presenting our views on different global issues, we learn how to communicate effectively, how to lead with confidence and impact, and how to create different kind of networks that are vital for creating a true significance in the world. Whether we are presenting at the United Nations, collaborating with fellow youth representatives, or engaging in discussions with organizations from all corners of the globe, we are constantly developing the tools that will allow us to become leaders in communities and eventually in the world stage in real life. However, perhaps the most important aspect of the role is really the profound opportunity it provides for personal growth. The United Nations is a global body that brings together a vast range of voices, perspectives, and experiences. They really expose us to the complexities of social justice issues around different regions of the world beyond just the United States. As youth representatives, we're not only given the chance to contribute our voices, but also listen and learn from other representatives of NGO, both at Lehigh and off campus, that are addressing social justice challenges in their respective places. Through these exchanges, we gain a deeper understanding of the human condition and the diverse struggles faced by people worldwide, all while still learning the power of collaboration and finding sustainable, reliable, and effective solutions. For us, serving as youth representatives, it is especially impactful when it comes to gender equity and female empowerment, of course. It provides a space where we can amplify the voices, like we mentioned in the past examples, in the United Nations, and overall just hear their stories, pursue, just bring light to their different walks of life and champion their rights. Being involved in these discussions make us really aware of all the disparities in societies around the world, especially those affecting women and marginalized communities. These disparities can take many forms, whether it's in access of education, economic opportunities, healthcare, political representation, which are some of the answers that you share in the chat. But no matter what the root is for this problem, it all comes down to inequality. And ultimately, I know that I can speak for all of us when we say that we're extremely thankful for this unique opportunity and that we are very excited to keep working and helping nor lose in any way we can.
So to conclude a bit about this presentation, by providing informal learning experiences focused on women empowerment, Norlys can work towards eliminating gender disparities, motivate young girls with the help of their mentors to feel inspired to try new fields in their career and continue through their education. Being able to confidently build their own career path, align with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, 4, quality education, 5, gender equality, and 10, reduce inequalities. As Norlys continues to provide programming to promote growth within these SDG missions, a stronger global viewpoint is instilled within the mentees, leading them to emerge from the program ready to assume an active role in their local and global communities. Embodying the fundamental values of global citizenship and lifelong learning, with the knowledge from this study and future studies on the exploration of self-efficiency, interests, and choice goals, Norlys has the opportunity to expand and evolve its own program, as well as continue to educate itself and others through local and international communities. Really focusing on how mentoring is best able to address the pressing issues young girls from vulnerable backgrounds face, and best able to empower the girls to lead self-sufficient lives and impact the future by achieving their future academic and career goals. Thank you so much for taking your time to be with us today.
So now we can open the floor up to discussion. I already received some questions in the chat, so I'll be asking them right now, but please feel free to keep asking them. So first, for Sugar, how can intergenerational cooperation in Armenia help address gender inequalities and economic disparities?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Anna Sophia. John, as I mentioned in when discussing the debate, presenting the information debate, and what the girls also highlighted that different generations, when they work together, so they definitely can reduce the gender inequality and economic struggle. So the older generation, they're already professional, they have the skills, working skills, they are knowledgeable, so they can share their knowledge and experience. They can be these like work mentors or job site mentors, we can call them, but they can share their knowledge, experience, advice, and this will help the girls to understand the younger generation to understand that how they can get to that position and how they can utilize their knowledge and put that into a practice. And at the same time, young generation can bring new ideas. They are full of new ideas. They are very innovative. They have a lot of good technological skills, like technology skills, and a fresh way of thinking. Like they have their own approach. So it will be very interesting a mixture, like a very kind of professional, profound person sharing their experiences, and the new generation coming like with new approaches. So this mixture can bring a lot of positive outcomes. And this can be a great teamwork. And it will help women succeed in education, in careers, in leadership. And that's especially when we have everyone together on board. So that's what also talks about like women's solidarity, where everyone helps each other and takes each other to different levels, like upper level.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Laura. Please keep sharing the questions in the chat. Risha, we got a question for you, which is, what is the most transformative aspect about working with Norluz, and what lessons would you say you have learned throughout the process?
Yeah, I believe one of the most transformative aspects about working with Norluz is really seeing the fundamental impact that it's having on young girls in Armenia, being able to firsthand witness how these, young women who are, transforming into adults and into their womanhood, really cherish not only each other, but also are able to just grow in their own self-confidence and career aspirations. And I think with this mentorship type of organization, they're able to rely on each other and themselves to really become change makers in their own communities. So I think that's just very inspiring. And I think a lesson that I've learned about this is that oftentimes we feel like we don't have enough to offer to the world, or like we're just one individual person, and seeing organizations like this really make a large impact worldwide really just shows that like you are so much more than what you can, fathom in a way, and that like we all kind of have a duty to make the world a better place. And I think working together, especially in empowering women through primarily education, is just so crucial, especially during the times that we're living in today.
Thank you so much, Risha. I definitely agree. So, is there an alumni network is the question that we just received, and if you could share what are some of the alumni success stories? So from my understanding, there's definitely an alumni network, particularly of girls that have been mentees in
Oh,
the past.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
sure you can take it away.
Yeah. Sorry, I was like answering Lucia in the chat. So alumni stories, yes, we got a lot of interesting stories. So a lot of alumni come back to do volunteer work, like to be a mentor for their younger peers, which talks a lot that they value the program. Another thing is that most of them, like they found their jobs, they have their own families, they got not only bachelor degrees but also master degrees. We have alumni who had two even master degrees, so they started to value the education a lot. And there's this one story I really want to share. One of our girls, she wanted to become an actress. Her family, coming in Armenia, having this conservative culture, the family didn't approve of becoming an actress, so they wanted her to be a nurse, and they kind of pushed her to go to nursing department. So she came, she talked to me, she said like, I really hate this education, I don't want to continue. So we started to talk a lot, and while going through all this process, and at the end, so we also did a lot of role plays, how she's going to talk to her family to become an actress. And one day she came like with a big smile on her face. She goes like, I did it. I was like, what did you do? She said, I gave the diploma of the nursing to my dad, and I said, this is for you. This is what you wanted. And I'm going to pursue my dream. I'm going to be an actress. She got her degree in acting. She's performing in the local theater, and her family is very proud of her. Like they attend to all her shows, and but she was so happy about that, and she said like, I did it, and she felt accomplished. So that's a kind of one of the stories that how we empower the girls to fight for their dreams, for what they really want, what they really aspire to be.
Thank you, Sugar. I got a quick question for myself, which is, how do you balance your work as a youth representative with academic and personal life? I would say we definitely have a very strong support system among all of us. We actually work together. Over the summer, we did an internship together in Armenia, so it was really nice getting to know the organization, but most of all, we really got to know each other and learn how to grow as a group. So I would say we're very understanding when it comes to other events or other things that we have going on. So thankfully we're there for each other. We really have each other's back. So we can each support each other when one of us is busier at certain times. But overall, I would say it's really positive, and more than a balance, I would say it just has incredibly positively impacted my professional aspect in academics, since I perform more writing skills and just work more on that aspect. So more than a work-life balance, I would just say that it's just all positive, the influence of Norluz overall in my academics. So thank you for that question. And the next question that we have is that we can see that there is constant capacity building. So they're very curious about the sustainability of the program and what are the challenges and how we are able to overcome them.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you for the question. Regarding capacity building, so if it is like funding wise, I turn to a lot to all my friends. The Bursar volunteers, like anyone like who I know I'll be there, will be there, who believe in my mission and who believe in supporting young girls. So I turn to them, I ask for support. That's how, and I also write a lot of grants. So that's how we can provide the financial part. Regarding the program wise, we always have, so it's not only the younger about the youngers but also about the mentors, because you know, like having a volunteer mentor for 1 year, having the mentors to volunteer for 1 year, it's challenging. So we provide them with a lot of workshops, a lot of professional buildings, and these we provide them with hands-on opportunities, so that they can utilize their knowledge and skills that they gain in the university. A lot of girls, a lot of mentors, they come with like theoretical based knowledge that they gain in the university, but they don't know how to transfer this knowledge into real world. So that's how where we kind of step in and we help them. We provide them with the right tools and knowledge. We do a lot of role plays, we discuss a lot of scenarios, a lot of cases, so that they will feel prepared for the for what's up, for what is coming, like what kind of challenges they may have when being a mentor. Um, Recently, the main kind of challenge became the policy that was accepted by the government, which is that outside companies, organizations are not allowed to go to posters, like centers, orphanages, and work with the kids. So how we got an agreement with the government to go to the schools and provide, because before that they had also not allowed, like none of the organization can go to to promote anything. So we started in a cooperation. We have an agreement with the Ministry of Education that they will have an access to the schools in Chirac region where we work, and it allowed us to have an easy access to the schools and present the program. And recently they have this other regulation regarding the orphanages. So now that's what we are working on, also trying to make sure we have an access also there to provide the girls with an opportunity, because they're also part of our community and we can't let them just stay away because of some rules and regulations. I hope I answered the questions. If not, please follow up.
Amazing, thank you. Risha, I think that would be a great question for us that we got in the chat is that how can we empower young women to participate in the UN Youth Rep program? I would say that program is especially for Lehigh students, but I'm pretty sure other universities can offer something similar. So definitely just looking at opportunities. My personal advice, I did it as the first year. I was very scared to do things on campus, but just like motivation to try new things out and not be scared of maybe the challenges that may present or thinking that you're not sure if that's what you really want to do, because ultimately when you try things out is when you discover amazing opportunities such as this one. So just like really motivating them to step out of their comfort zone and try things that could be very beneficial for both their personal and professional life.
Yeah, to add on to that, I think this opportunity is just gives you so much professional and personal growth. I think honestly, it's so important for you to pursue work that you're passionate about. And the unique aspect about the UN Youth Representative position is that it connects you with so many different NGOs across the world who's making like such an impactful work regarding like maternal health, medicine, from political and climate change. So there are so many different fields that you can really get involved in, and being able just to have that unique experience of presenting and voicing your being the voice to really connect people. It's just so empowering, and being able to be in the UN and just be also around so many like-minded powerful students is also like very galvanizing, to really just improve yourself for the better and good so that you're able to kind of pursue life after college and into your career.
Definitely. Thank you for the question. Our next question is, what is the rate of girls pursuing higher education after partaking in the Northeast?
Yes, the rate of the girls. So according to the data 2023, we still have about 45% of the girls in school, and 30% were pursuing higher education. And so 30% of our girls, which is like 96 mentees, they were pursuing their higher education. They were pursuing degrees either in universities, vocational college, or some of them they were pursuing their master's degree. And only like throughout this year, it's like only in 2023, only like 10% of our girls graduated from the high school. They got their high school diploma, but they didn't continue with their education. So, but the ones who already like got the degrees from the university, that's altogether I think 46 mentees. In 2023, the ones who got their degrees, they 33% of them they could secure a job for themselves, which talks about the fact that the work the kind of organization is working, like the program is has an impact on the girls, and we could like provide them with the right skills and tools, like to not only get the education but also be able to secure a job for themselves.
Perfect. Thank you, Sugar. So we got another question in the chat that says, what roles do partnerships with other organizations play in your campus involvement efforts? I would say a very, very significant role, especially when it comes to gathering more people to come to our events. Like we mentioned, we have something planned with Lehigh Arts and Crafts Club, which is great because they already have a very solid system on how the event works. So it's just really great that they're very willing to incorporate us so we can talk about gender equality and surrounding concepts and overall just really establishing solid networking on campus so that maybe now we can start with something related to arts and crafts, but then later we can do many different events. And overall, it just really helps Norluz have a even stronger presence on campus that we already have. Thank you for that question. And the next question that we have is for Sugar. And for some of the strategies that you used in addressing cultural barriers around gender empowerment, how does this connect on the story that you shared about the alumni network?
I think like the whole model that we are using is kind of challenging these cultural barriers around gender empowerment. So like, let's say, for example, if we take a mentorship model, yeah. So mentorship helps the girls to develop, like to build their confidence and see examples, like have the role models, like role models of the girl, of women who are breaking traditional gender roles, even in the organization. For example, in our staff, among our staff, all of us have at least 2 or 3 degrees, like master degrees. We're still working on us. They continue. Some of them have their families also, and it shows like you can have your own family. You can be, you still can continue your education, and you can also bring changes in your community. And they also, a lot of cases when we go, so for example, when we take the girls to different university visits or site visits, one of our staff, the husband of one of our staff members, he gives us a ride, and he also shares how much he cares about his wife and the family and how he's supporting her, which is another way of showing the girls, like, this is like gender, like fighting against the gender disparities is coming from all the parts. Like everyone should be engaged there, and everyone should support each other. And if I talk about the skill building part, so the sessions in our program allows the girls to gain tools to challenge societal expectations and also advocate for themselves. And on this note, I would like to share a story. So I think it was in 2015. At that time, we had girls from orphanages, and one time I want in and so every time I would go to get the girls from the orphanage to give a ride to bring them by a car to participate in our program. So I went there, and the orphanage director didn't want to let them come with me, join me. So I went to her room. I was like, okay, I need to understand what's happening. And she goes like, I don't want you to work with our girls. I was like, I want to understand why, because I need to also report to my board members. And she goes like, every time they come back from your meetings, they demand us to respect their rights. I was like, okay, that sounds very good. Like, I said, I'm sorry they put you in a wrong situation, like they kind of, it came out as a disrespectful towards you. I'll talk to them, but I don't want the girls like to stay away from the program. I really appreciate working with you, so things like that. And then I managed to convince her, and the girls joined us. So she was angry that the girls were kind of I would say, respecting, like demanding, advocating for themselves. And this is what we are doing. So stories like that show that the program is working.
Amazing, sir. Thank you so much. We have another question in the chat. That's for Risha and I. That says, as a UN youth representative, in what ways does advocating for Norluz impact you? I think, personally speaking, it can impact us in so many different ways, but one of the main ones that I think at a personal level is really all the useful skills that I'm going to learn as a student that's on the pre-law track, especially the networking, public speaking, really honing down those writing skills. They're all extremely useful and things that I'm pretty sure, use every day once I'm in law school. So being able to do that at such a high profile beyond just class or project with a lot of things on stake, it definitely created a new sort of pressure that I didn't know before, but one that is very positive. It's really motivating to have that pressure to represent people and advocate, give them a voice in spaces where they can be present. So overall, just the Norluz and being a UN Youth Group influence of my future law school journey has been nothing but impactful.
Yeah, I completely agree with Anna Sophia. I think that's a great question. I think that advocating for Nerlus has really impacted me significantly. Just being able to have the chance to work with such like brilliant, hardworking women was just something that like really, pushes you to really understand the importance of the work that they're doing. Primarily, when you're going into as a senior going into the workforce or higher education in a master's, it's very difficult for women to get their foot in the door, especially in the male dominated positions, and being someone also on the pre-law track. You recognize how just transformative and amazing women are, and being able to work with organization that directly highlights this at a young age is just fundamental for how we're going on in the world and how we're really making it a better place.
Yes, definitely. I agree, Risha. Um, we have another question for you, Sugar, which is, to what extent do you believe that the SDGs you're currently working with will impact the others?
Um, do you know what is interesting? I think like all the SDGs are kind of intertwined. And when you work on one, it will definitely affect on the other one as well. But I think like it's very important to have this to reduce the gender inequalities. It should be important. Like when we promote gender equality, and it allows the women to have equal education opportunities. It will improve health, economic growth, social stability. Like research shows that when women are educated, they take care of their health. The marriage age will be kind of delayed. The children will be kind of vaccinated. They also be able to work. They contribute to the economy. So reducing inequalities helps create a better society where everyone has a chance to succeed. That's why I think like I would say like gender equality is kind of the main thing. And if you work on this, you will definitely affect in all these different SDGs.
Definitely. Thank you, Sugar. And then to finalize the question section, maybe we have some more in the chat that people want to share. Now we have, what is the SDG that you believe the organization is strongest in? And also, are there any other SDGs that the organization would like to explore? Why or why not?
Hmm. The strongest? That's a good question. I think that I'll mention like SDG 4, 5, and 10, like gender equality, gender education, and reduced inequalities, because that when you empower women, because like we have very gender targeted approach, and we include women in the program, and we empower them, and we provide them with an opportunity to get a quality education, to go to the universities. We even provide scholarships for the girls to go to medical school in the capital, which is like very expensive for Armenians. But if we can support the girls for several years, that's what we will definitely do. um, so I think those are the main. We are very good at doing this, and also the fact that the girls find the jobs, find their own jobs, and they work. It also talks about the reduced inequalities. Regarding the other, that's so hard because we need also to have the right expertise there. Like I would love to work on reducing like the hunger, making sure everyone is healthy. That's very important. But capacity-wise, it's hard. And we are doing as much we can within the program, providing the girls with healthcare education. However, those are I think health is kind of the primary place or topic I would definitely would like to kind of tackle maybe like strategic plan will be to kind of have that other SDG, kind of prioritize that SDG in the future when the organization is growing.
Amazing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, so much for being so engaging and interactive with the presentation. We certainly really appreciated all your questions. And unfortunately, the meeting has come to an end. Again, we thank you so, so much for being here. Really hope you enjoyed our presentation. Please scan the link for more, the QR code, sorry, for more links related to Norluz. This is our information. If you want to keep in touch, feel free to do so. And thank you so, so much for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank